Hello, everybody. You're listening to Let's Master English, and my name is Coach Shane. Welcome, everybody, to Let's Master English Podcast 22. 22 is a very important number for me. It's the birthday of me and my favorite person. It's the birthday of my bear and somebody else who's very pink. It's also the birthday of my kitties. So the number 22, the date 22 is a very special number for me. It's my favorite number. What is your favorite number? So in today's podcast, we have a news story and a country fact. Well, a fact from Country Shane and a couple questions and the answers to last week's challenge. I asked you to find the 7 puns in Let's Master English 21, and I got many answers. About 12 people sent me emails with the answers, and oh boy, it was kind of difficult. I told you that I would give 3 people 2 months of free DDM Open, but no, I'm going to give 4 people 2 months of DDM Open for free, and I will tell you the winners and the answers at the end of the podcast. So, enough chit-chat. Let's get into the news. Fresh air. How much would you pay to breathe fresh air? A Chinese artist sold a jar of clean air from southern France in Beijing for $860. The sale is seen as artsy, entrepreneurial, and as a protest to the foul air that is becoming all too prevalent in China's big cities. Okay, I think this news story was not super difficult. Hopefully you understood the basic story, but let me read it one more time, a little bit slowly. Fresh air. How much would you pay to breathe fresh air? A Chinese artist sold a jar of clean air from southern France in Beijing for $860. The sale is seen as artsy, entrepreneurial, and as a protest to the foul air that is becoming all too prevalent in China's big cities. Okay, so the story is about fresh air. When we say the word fresh, we can think of fresh vegetables and fresh fruit and fresh air. I know many of you live in the city. And the city, the air is sometimes so bad. Even where I live, the air is okay, but in the distance, I can see a big city. And I can see the dirty air. And we call dirty air smog, S-M-O-G. Oh boy, I feel sorry for the people who have to live in smoggy areas. It must be really terrible. Anyway, fresh air. So nice. How much would you pay? And if we say it quickly, would you? How much would you pay to breathe fresh air? Breathe, B-R-E-A-T-H-E. Now don't be confused. Breath, B-R-E-A-T-H. Breath. Breathe. So a breath is a noun, to breathe is a verb. Make sure you get the pronunciation difference there. Breathe has a vibrated TH. Breath has an aspirated TH. Lots of wind. Breath. Breathe. How much would you pay to breathe fresh air? Well, I think most people would not pay money to breathe fresh air. But if they have the chance, they might go to the country or to a lake or the ocean or maybe to the mountains to enjoy the fresh air, especially when you get older. Young people, it seems they don't care. How much would you pay to breathe fresh air? The next sentence, a Chinese artist sold a jar of clean air from southern France in Beijing for $860. Oh my goodness. So a Chinese artist. Now usually when we think of artist, we think of a painter like Rembrandt or Picasso. But there are many types of art. I think this artist is what we call an installment artist. So basically, he takes regular, everyday things, but makes them into art with some sort of moral or political message. And that's what he did in this case. A Chinese artist sold a jar of clean air. So what is a jar? A jar is a glass with a cover, and you can twist the cover so it's tight. When you think of a jar, you can think of a jar of jelly or a jar of peanut butter. But this guy had a jar of clean air. What? So basically that means he just had an empty jar and he closed it in an area where there was clean air. Where was this area? From southern France. Okay, so this artist traveled to southern France, opened a jar, and captured the fresh, clean air. And what did he do with that jar of clean air? He sold it in Beijing. Beijing is the capital of China. And how much did he sell it for? $860. Oh my goodness, $860. We can also say $860. That's my monthly income. And he sold an empty jar of clean air for $860 in Beijing. Wow. Well, maybe you have heard that in China, especially in Beijing and Shanghai, the air quality, it's not so good. I feel sorry for the Chinese people. The next sentence. The sale, the $860 sale of a jar of clean air, that sale is seen as, S-E-E-N, is viewed as, people think of it as artsy, A-R-T-S-Y. Artsy means artistic. Something normal that is shown or used or displayed as more artistic than practical. So we can think of an artsy chair. A chair is regular, it's very normal, but an artistic chair would be something with special designs, or maybe it's made of paper, so it's not really practical. We can't really use it as a regular chair. It's artsy. And this jar of clean air is artsy. Can you imagine opening the jar and just getting one breath of fresh air? Not really. So people see this as artsy. The sale is seen as artsy, and it's also seen as entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial. Oof, that's a long word. One more time. Rial. So the pronunciation, there's actually two pronunciations. The pronunciation I use is entrepreneurial. But many Americans say entrepreneurial. So neurial and neurial are both common pronunciations. But what does entrepreneurial mean? It means business savvy, capitalistic. Somebody who is entrepreneurial is somebody who knows about business. They know how to make money. They're very smart people when it comes to business. What's his name? The British guy, Branson, Richard Branson. He is the king of entrepreneurs. He has many companies, from music companies to airline companies to whatever. He's got lots and lots of companies. He's very entrepreneurial. And this Chinese artist is pretty smart. He has business savvy. He sold an empty jar of clean air for $860. He's a businessman. That's pretty smart. So the sale is seen as artsy, entrepreneurial, and as a protest to the foul air that is becoming all too prevalent in China's big cities. So it's seen as A, B, and C. C is as a protest. What is a protest? It's a demonstration against something. Something done in defiance. D-E-F-I-A-N-C-E. Defiance to what? A protest to what? A protest to the foul air. F-O-U-L. Foul air. Polluted air. Dirty air. Disgusting air. And where is this foul air? That is becoming all too prevalent. That is becoming very common. That is becoming very typical in China's big cities. Yeah. And I think once again you've probably heard the news about the bad air quality in many of China's big cities. Lots of smog. And many Chinese people are very angry about this dirty air, and they want the government to do something. So this man, an artist, sold a jar of clean air. Number one, because it's artistic. Number two, because he can make money. And number three, to show his defiance against this terrible air that China's government should try to improve. Does that make sense? Let me spell the word prevalent, P-R-E-V-A-L-E-N-T. Okay? All right, so it's a funny story, but it's also kind of a sad story. You know, I mean, he made money selling an empty jar of air, but at the same time, people are that interested in the subject, so it became an issue in the news. All right, well, let me read the story 2 more times. The first time, nice and smooth. The second time, normal. Here we go. Fresh air. How much would you pay to breathe fresh air? A Chinese artist sold a jar of clean air from southern France in Beijing for $860. The sale is seen as artsy, entrepreneurial, and as a protest to the foul air that is becoming all too prevalent in China's big cities. Fresh air. How much would you pay to breathe fresh air? A Chinese artist sold a jar of clean air from southern France in Beijing for $860. The sale is seen as artsy, entrepreneurial, and as a protest to the foul air that is becoming all too prevalent in China's big cities. How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm here to bring you the facts. On a smoggy day in Beijing, just breathing the air is the same as smoking a pack of cigarettes. One day in Beijing, one pack of ciggies. Oh, such a pity. This has been Country Shane bringing you the facts. Oh boy, yeah, this is a fact, and it's a serious fact. If you live in Beijing and you breathe the air, it is the same as smoking a pack of cigarettes. That's 20 cigarettes. And actually, they say it's the same as smoking 21 cigarettes. Oh my goodness. So cigarettes or ciggies, C-I-G-G-I-E-S, the same thing. Such a pity, such a tragedy. I feel sorry for the people who live in those smoggy cities. All right, it's question and answer time, and the first question comes from Eric Pinter, the fisherman from Slovakia. Oh, Eric, one day I hope that I can go fishing with you. Hi, Coach Shane. I have one question for you. What is the difference between will and shall? All right, Eric. Basically, there's no difference. They mean the same thing. However, the word shall, S-H-A-L-L, is not very common in America. And when we use the word shall, we either mean to be very polite or kind of cheeky, C-H-E-E-K-Y, kind of cute, kind of funny. That's the idea. Shall I wait for you? We could just say, should I wait for you? I shall be there. I will be there. It's the same thing. So I do want you to remember shall can sometimes mean should, but generally shall and will mean the same thing. They do mean the same thing. We use shall as a request or to emphasize politely that you will do something. I shall do it tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow. Shall I answer another question? Should I answer another question? Yes, I will. The next question is from Abdul Mesid. I hope my pronunciation is okay. Which one is suitable, Coach? I don't know how to say this. Ataturk. Ataturk is the first president of Turkey. Or Ataturk was the first president of Turkey. Well, actually, Abdul, both sentences are possible. If you are currently right now talking about Ataturk, who is Ataturk? Who was Ataturk? We could actually say Ataturk is the first president of Turkey. Now, he was the first president of Turkey a long time ago, 100 years ago. So actually, we should say was. Was is going to be grammatically perfect. But many times when we talk about the past or the history, sometimes we use those present tense verbs. It is possible, Abdul. So I'm sure that you will see Ataturk is the first president of Turkey. You'll see that. You will hear that. But once again, grammatically, the perfect sentence would be was. So for example, we could say President Obama. President Obama is the first black president in the United States. But he was actually elected in 2008, so we could also say President Obama was the first black president of the United States, even though he is still currently the president. It really depends on the story that you're reading or that you're telling. So grammatically, for Ataturk, was is perfect. And for Obama, is perfect because he is still the president. So I don't know if I really answered your question. I hope so, Abdul. Thanks a lot, everybody, and keep those questions coming in. My favorite questions are how to use expressions, what do expressions mean, pronunciation, and listening questions. Send those in. And I want to make a couple of hellos. Number one to Nabil Asik. Thank you very much, Coach, for your efforts. Because of you and your podcasts, my English is improving day to day. I have even impressed all my friends when I speak, and they ask me about the secret. What is the secret? Why is your speaking? Why is your English so good? And I am more than happy to share your videos with them. Nabil, I sincerely appreciate it. And every day I see your messages to my E-cubed expressions, and I really enjoy them. Thank you so much, Nabil. And we have more ratings on iTunes. Yay! I'm very happy. From Jongso Wo from the United States. Wonderful. Whenever I listen to your podcast, I have to bow down to you because of your efforts and passion. Oh, thank you so much, Jongso Wo. You don't have to bow, but your thank you means a lot. From Russia, from Antona B. I'm thinking, great podcast from Russia with love. Isn't that a James Bond movie title? Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate it. From Betty0300, 5 stars, the best podcast. I listen to this podcast and his other lessons every day. He has dramatically changed my pronunciation skill. Thank you, Coach Shane. Betty, thank you. That's what I'm here for. I'm so happy that your English pronunciation has improved. By the way, my aunt's name is Betty, my dad's sister, so maybe you are family. And then we have Farvz, F-A-R-V-Z, also from Russia. I found where I can rate you. Thank you for your job again. You are the best. I always listen to your podcasts while I go somewhere. You make my day. It's so sad that you can only do one podcast a week. Well, we have all week to listen to it. Keep doing what you do and never give up. Good luck. By the way, hello from Russia. Come to visit us. Thank you so much, Farvz. You know, the weather in Russia is actually pretty cool. Maybe I will visit one day. Another person from Russia, Alex Trubnikov. 5 stars. Thank you, Coach Shane. The best podcast for learning English. About 3 months ago, when I started to listen to this podcast, my English was really bad, really poor. I didn't understand anything Coach Shane was saying. But now my English is much better, and I'm a subscriber of DDM. Thank you, Coach Shane. Thank you, Alex, and welcome to the DDM family. And also from Gulia Karimova from Russia. Really useful and a great podcast of English. The best podcast for English learners. The best coach of English who is explaining to you the different themes so clearly that I think even if you are at the elementary level, the basic level, you can still understand him. Coach Shane, I am really glad that I found you because I've always hoped to improve my English, but I always don't have enough time to go to English courses. But now I'm so glad that I am doing something to improve my English. I'm listening to your podcast on the way to work and back home. Coach Shane, you are doing a great job. A huge thanks for all that you are doing. And also, Gulia is a member of DDM. So thank you so much. And Gulia, that's the big thing. You know, so many people want to improve their English. They think about it. They hope. They dream. But, you know, what you have to do is make a decision. And one of the most difficult decisions is to put your money where your mouth is. And what that means is not only make a decision, but make an investment with money, because that money actually forces you to spend time. And DDM, it does cost money. It's not that expensive, but it forces you to spend time studying English. And DDM is a great course. It works on pronunciation, listening, speaking, culture. The topics change every week. It's a great class. So especially to Alex and Gulia, thank you so much for your comments. To everybody, thank you so much to listening to my podcast. And if you have a chance, I want you to join DDM. And speaking of joining DDM, I welcome 4 new people. They answered my challenge last week. So last week in podcast 21, I asked you to find the 7 puns that were related to eggs. And I'm going to give you the answers. Scrambled eggs. So last week I said the police scrambled. They hurried. But scrambled is also very commonly used with eggs. It's a way to cook eggs. Look up scrambled eggs on Google and search in the images, and you will see scrambled eggs. Everybody knows scrambled eggs. Number 2, poached eggs. Poached. Poached eggs. That's another typical egg-related expression. Last week in the podcast, I said poached with the meaning of stolen, S-T-O-L-E-N. But it also has a common meaning with eggs. Whisked eggs was number 3. Whisked away, taken something away, stolen something. But whisked eggs, W-H-I-S-K-E-D, means mixed eggs. When you mix the eggs to mix the white and the yellow part together. Cracked. Last week I said cracked, to crack the case. Yes, to solve the case. But cracked eggs is another common expression, to break the egg shell. And then there was the thieves got over easily. I think that's what I said. And this is another eggs-related expression, eggs over easy. 3 words, eggs over easy. That's another method, cooking method, a way to cook eggs. And the final 2 from Country Shane were exactly. Now, the word exactly, E-X-A-C-T-L-Y, exactly. But listen carefully. Exactly. Eggs. It sounds like eggs. And the last one, exit. E-X-I-T. But once again, listen carefully. Exit. Eggs. It sounds like eggs. Yeah, well, anyway, those are the puns that I created last week. And once again, I got lots of emails of people who were thinking they had the answers, and 4 people had the answers perfectly. And I'm giving DDM Open 2 months free to Haibo, H-A-I-B-O. Haibo, congratulations. And to Paulo, P-A-U-L-O, Paulo, congratulations. And to Pablo Segura, congratulations. And finally, yes, 1 extra person, to Gabrielle Bowerman. Gabrielle, congratulations. You 4 people are welcome to DDM Open. I'll be sending you a total of 16 lessons. So today, I'll be sending you 8 lessons, and next month, I'll send you another 8 lessons. So you guys will be, or you guys and girls, whatever, you guys will be getting from DDM 9 all the way to what? DDM 9 to 17, what is it, 9? I don't even know. 16 lessons. Anyway, you're getting 16 lessons. Lots of lessons. Now, if you say, Shane, but I sent you the same answers, well, send me an email. Tell me about when you sent it, and I will search. Because if somebody else sent me all 7 answers, I'm happy to give you DDM Open also. Okay? So once again, everybody, no challenge this week. I'm sorry, but you can still join DDM. If you want to join DDM, send me an email, dailydictationmembers@gmail.com. If you're not sure, but you would like to try DDM, you can sign up for 8 free lessons and just go to www.letsmasterenglish.com/tryddm, TRYDDM, and then I'll send you 8 lessons. And do the dictation, listen to my answers video, listen to my explanation video, and let's start mastering English, right? That's right, everybody. That's what we're here for. I want you to master English so that you can help educate the world about your country, your culture, and so that all of us together can realize that we're not so different. We might have a different religion. We might have different foods. We might have different looking homes or different looking clothes, but people are people. And with communication, we can become a very happy family. I'm sure of it. Okay, that's it. So once again, everybody, thank you so much for downloading Let's Master English Podcast 22. I'll be back again next week, and let's master English!